Alright, so for those of you playing along at home, we have the Creality CR-6 SE, and I've been dialing in my settings, my profiles. I think I have it. I'm going to be using this part in white, which I haven't got my blue parts printed yet. I'm going to do a theme on this one. All of it's going to be done in blue, all the parts I put on it. Kind of like my Chiron over here, you can see it's all in yellow. I just got to find my blue. I think that's it. That's it. Instructions, who needs instructions? So this is the ZYL Tech, filament that I normally use on my Chiron. I'm very familiar with this filament. I know its characteristics, I know where it has to print. The only thing here, I don't know characteristics of this printer very well. Just getting there. So that's where we are. So like any roll of filament you get, regardless of the brand, they always stick it up here in the corner. And you can see how it goes up in here and then it comes out and over. You really can't use that because they bent the tar out of it. It's only like an inch or two you're going to waste. And when you print or start a new roll, you always want to cut this at a 45. It just makes it easier to get into there. So I'm going to cut this off. And you want the pointy end towards the top. And of course I did just the opposite. You want the pointy end towards the top. There we go. You can see it's like at a 45-degree angle. It'll feed into the feeder, the extruder, a lot better. Trust me. Alright, so we got him ready. Put him up out of the way. We need to heat up the hotbed. For some reason I wasn't thinking. I should have already done that. So I turned the power strip on here, and then my smart plug's plugged into that. And then on here, we just turn it on. I know you can't see my screen very well, but you'll see that light up and the printer will turn on just by clicking that button. And you'll see it lighting up. And beep at us to tell us it's on. Now that filament's all up in there and into the hot end, and it's cold right now. So I can't just pull it out. We need to get it hot, molten, so we can pull it back out. It does bring up an interesting point though. Go ahead and get this warmed up. I'm also going to heat up the bed while I'm at it. Putting this little piece in, when you pull that end of the filament back out, there's usually a little nub at the end. It's a little bit bigger than what the filament usually is. If I was using Capricorn tubing, like this blue stuff on my Chiron, there we go, then the tubing itself would keep the filament the same diameter. With the white filament, it can actually swell a little bit. That may not fit through here, or back through the, well, we'll see how it goes. It won't matter at this time, but next time I change filament rolls, unless you cut it on that end and just feed it all through, going this way. I was playing with some fan covers, putting on here when I change out the, if I change out the fan. This is actually the size of the fan now. It's a little 30 millimeter. This is a 40. That would fit like the size on my Chiron. And that's why this fan on here is so loud. Because it's a little bitty tiny thing. Who knows? what are we at? We're up to 185 temp. It actually heats up pretty quick. It does not have a MOSFET separate for the bed. The bed's, a third the size of my Chiron, so it doesn't need as, it doesn't take so long and so much power to heat that thing up. My Chiron, just for those of you who may not have seen my other videos, this is my bed. And it's a square, and well, you can see the Creality one. This thing is huge. Trust me. We're up to 200. I'm going to get at least to 205. I actually don't know. Does it have a filament? It has a loading. There's no negative, so you can't put a negative number in there. Uh-oh. Oh, we have to escape to get out of that. Move. So I can move X, Y, Z. Cannot move the extruder backwards. Let's go to Control, Temp LED, Restore, Info. I am on version 102. I know version 103 is out. Level, I ain't clicking that. Print, nope. Alright, so this does not have a way for the machine to make the extruder run backwards. Interesting. Chiron does. You can run backwards or forwards. Just tell it what direction you want to go. There we go. So we're up to temp, so we're going to do this manually. Move some of my stuff out of the way. So I'm going to loosen the extruder. Just flip that lever over here in the back. And start pulling the filament back. Yep, and that's what I was. I need my cutters. I'll show you this here in a second, what I was talking about. It's a little stringy, a little hot. Pull this back out. Filament sensor's probably going to start having a cow. And then there's all these little holes around here. You can just stick it up in there just like they did when you got it new. And then I'll stick that in the box that the glue came in. Now the big thing with your filament, do not let it unravel. Now I'd kind of made a mess of it because I let it loosen. But if these get tangled or interwrapped in each other, you're going to have a mess. You don't want that. And then the parts I just printed. Slips in back here. That's it. Put it in. And look at that, fit right in. There's a little bit of finagle in there, but nothing compared to what it was when I did it originally. Now, I like to push it out until I see the new color coming out. And there it is. Lock the extruder switch back down. Now this is what came out of the hot end. You can see that little blob that I'm talking about. I don't know if that'll fit through that little hole or back through the filament sensor. I suppose if you whipped it out of there fast enough while it's still hot, it probably would. Yeah, see, it actually got stuck and I broke the end off. So, something to think about. So we got everything heated up. Let's clean that little a little bit out of here. And then I already got some stuff set up to print. I want to do the cover. This one. And print. You're going to end up with lots of little strings. You'll be finding them all over. And if you have a cat, you'll be finding them all over. Move you back up closer now. See, a little stringy under there. Well, that's what this purge line here is supposed to do, is clean off that little string. And it did. Good. Found my mic doesn't like when I'm too close to it. I'm trying not to talk directly into it so it doesn't crackle at you. And again, all the parts I'm going to be putting on here, I'm using a guy's, his initials are RB off the Facebook group. He spent a lot of time putting these up. I don't know if he made them personally or exactly. I'm assuming he made them himself. I don't want to give his name out, so I don't know if he wants me to. But if you're on the Facebook groups, the official users group, you'll know it's in the file section. This is the fan that'll cover this part of it. I thought I'd do that first because that'll be a big thing you'll see right away in a change of it as to the printer. I see a little bit lifting up off the bed. Let's turn the light on. See, and this is the part I was saying. It's so, that fan cover is so huge you can't. Okay, it's not lifting off the bed. Forgot what the actual name of this color is. Oh, it is fluorescent blue. I wanted it to kind of stand out. We let it do its thing so we can actually see something. This part actually is big enough that it doesn't cover all of it while it's printing. Some of it's going to be outside of it. So we can kind of see what its progress is. All these other little parts I was throwing on the floor, printing, fit underneath the head, so they were really hard to see them until it was done. So now it's just doing the first layer, and I did mine at 0.16. And on the white filament, it was doing good, but I think that might even be too close. No, maybe not. No, actually, that is good. Now you can hear my other fan kicked on. It's not loud. I mean, in a room where you're doing stuff, you wouldn't even know it was running. But right here up in front of it, watching it, it's definitely louder than my Chiron printer. I know you can't see under there very well. think that's enough with the blue light. Some of you are probably yelling at me to turn it off. Does that help? Does that make it worse? The other thing, Z-hop. I don't know why it exists. I don't know. I initially had it turned on when I first was printing with this, and I didn't realize it. Yeah, you can see back there, definitely too close to the bed. I'm not going to change it on the printer itself. I'll change it in the slicer. I'll change it from 16 to 20. But the Z-hop, it's so you don't get lines in the top layer of your print, but it Z-hops throughout the entire print, every single layer. And it just really messes with the time. It doesn't quite double it, but it goes up a bit. Now I'm seeing on the bed, like a lot of people are saying, the left side is really, really good. My right side, definitely too close. Not close enough that it's hurting the bed, but it's not going to look the greatest right there. This is the first time on this printer using my ZYL Tech filament. We'll just let it finish. We're up to 8% already. This is a pretty easy print. Now right here I'm also seeing a little bit of where it kind of looks a different color. It's too close to the bed. Now you can change it on the fly. Let's see how this does. Yeah, this one's doing it all the way through. Let's go ahead and just lift that up a little bit. So I went from 0.2 to 0.25. Now my Chiron, it usually takes it a few seconds for it to, oh hey, you made a change. Looks like it's still doing the same. Let's go a little higher. Go to 0.3. Now this side of the bed is definitely higher than that side. That side over there was like perfect. We may have to bed level it again. I'm not sure what's... You know, I did kind of move the bed earlier on my previous video when I was talking about changing beds out. I wonder if I changed something. Now you can see how that does not look pretty over here. Over there is great. Well, let's see if it can fix itself on the second layer. If not, we'll peel that off and bed level and start over. And I do have it only printing at 75 millimeters per second. It's supposed to be good from 85 to 100. I didn't want to push it just yet. In this case, it's probably good I didn't. Until I get it dialed in, I don't want to go full speed. But once we're dialed in, I'll be kicking it up to at least 100. Now it's starting the second layer. I'm hoping it'll fix that first layer, smooth it out a little bit. Alright, so it's already got the second layer here. And I actually smoothed out most of that. It's definitely nowhere near as nice and clean as that far left side. But I think it will be okay. We're going to find out. So I'm going to let it go. We're up to 17%. 13 minutes. When you print parts face down, the part that's against the bed is what we're actually going to be looking at when it's done. So that first layer is very important on those type of parts. Most of the time you print the other way around, but this one's got little walls that come up, so it's not as easy to do that. And only because I've been watching it. Just started the third layer. Just going to do that outline wall first. And then we'll do the center outlines. Just because there's a little bit of detail and angles, stop and go, stop and go. It can't go full speed. But now it's doing the infill on the main part. Third layer. This should pretty much cover up any imperfections. Layer 2, smooth them out. 3 should cover them. I was just looking at it. I'm not sure if the guy who posted these on Facebook, if he's actually made them or designed them. If he did, or if he got them from someone else, whomever. Looks like they did an awesome job chasing that out. Yeah, it's pretty much identical. That pattern is going to cover this. Well, leave those holes open with those, so the fan still functions. But instead of just a flat black, this way everyone can kind of customize it. I'm going blue. You might go rainbow. Who knows? But if you want to, just to make it look different from everybody else's. And now it's starting on to layer 4. And it pretty much cleaned up that first layer imperfection. There's a little bit of stringing down in the middle. Not much. I mean, there's a little bit, and I think it's just from that first layer. Nothing that I'm really going to change or adjust the profile settings for. I'm going to leave it as is, I think. Those little bit of wispy strings I can just use a little file and clean off. You could probably just use a little edge of a knife or a razor and clean them up, but I'm thinking it looks pretty good. We're at 30%, 20 minutes. Unless something happens, we'll see you at the end. So I just heard it doing a whole crap ton of retractions back and forth there at the last little bit. Not quite sure why. I think these walls are too thin. I don't know if it's the part that the person uploaded or my settings. But yeah, it is doing a shit ton of retractions. Every little dot Hopefully you can see those little, I hope that's not the wall. Damn, it shouldn't be that thin. I think that's what was happening on this. I'm not sure if it's the design of the part or my wall settings. Hmm. You see the filament over there. It's just back and forth retracting. Well, I think that wall is way too thin. It can't. Now I know my previous wall settings were set at 0.88, and I thought that was ridiculous, and I changed it down to 0.4. And there was a reason it was at 0.88. I'm just watching. Well, I am going to turn the offset back down to 0.25. Yeah, that's a fail. Oh, let's go ahead and stop it. Confirm. Auto home. It would have been nice if it would have lifted up before it did that. And it looks like it shut all the fans and everything off too. Or not the fans, the temperatures. The hotbed. You can see that, oh, this thing ain't never coming out that bad. Yeah, those walls are way too thin. Alright, well, I'm going to reslice it. I'm going to put those back at 0.88. Now I'll show you real quick. Over here, I changed them all back down to 0.4. See right there, that's what it's doing. That is not the printer's fault. That is the part. I didn't zoom in and look at that. You can see definitely it is not a smooth wall. It is jagged little edges. It's cooled down enough. Now I'm going to kill the power too. Oh, I didn't turn the light off. Oh, beeper's nice and loud, isn't it? Oh, the hot end's still at 60. We'll let it keep cooling. Yeah, these little jagged edges are in the part. Fudge. And you can see right there, and that's what it's trying to do, is print all those little dots. Yeah, that's what all these little dots are here. Is it's trying to make what it says. I am going to have to fix this part. I'm going to rebuild those sides, make them 2 layers thick, maybe solid. I'm going to go rebuild all that, and then I'll bring the part back into Cure and show you. Okay, so all I did was just use Tinkercad. This is the original part. Not sure if these little pieces are on the side, maybe to hold on. I'm not sure. They're extremely thin. So what I did is I left those little grippy things there. But I made these walls 1 millimeter thicker. I just pushed them all out 1 millimeter. So we're going to delete that one. This is the one we'll go with. Actually looks pretty good. I'm assuming, like I said, that those are for grippies. I'm not sure. I would have probably just left them smooth, but yeah, we'll try it, see what happens. At least now we have a wall to work with. And Tinkercad's great. I have a ton of crap. Well, let's get out of here. I'm just going to sign out. Close it. You can see I've already imported it. This one here at the top is the original. You see how thin those walls are. And then the second one, you can see how thick those walls are. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. We're going to have it arrange this one back into the middle. And then we're going to slice it. Since everything else was printing, I'm going to go ahead and put these back to 4. I'm going to put them right back to 4 because that's the width of the nozzle. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and slice this. Let's go ahead and do a preview. Zoom in on these walls. Do a corner of it where you can see. That's as close as it's going to let me in. So it should have an outer wall, an inner wall, and then the infill. Not sure what's going on there. That's part of that grippy thing, whatever. I don't even know what it is. Oh, there's a heart. Now it's okay. Right there. And okay. Turn it. Anyway, you see what I'm talking about. We just made it 1 millimeter thicker all the way around. Goes in the memory card. Push this forward a little bit. Grab the memory card. Memory card's in. We'll tell it to save the file. I don't know why it's thinking about it. What are you doing? Ah, there it is. Okay. Save. Overwrite. Yes. Just making sure it's the right one. Yep, it is. Good. And check the memory card. There we go. This out of the way. Back over to the camera. Memory card in. I left the fans running. That thing is ice cold. Well, not ice cold, but it's cold. Let's see if we can get this off here without hurting the bed. Those of you asking, this is a razor sharp tool that I'm using. I mean, it is razor sharp. Hear that crinking noise? That's what you hear on the Anycubic Chiron Ultra Base bed when it pops loose by itself. And that would be my dog alarm. Yeah, you can see the imperfections in the face there. So I'm kind of glad we're redoing it anyway. Okay. Again, don't know why my microphone is so sensitive. Not that the dog alarm would have, you would have heard the dog alarm. So we're up to temp. I'm going to tell it to print the fan cover again. Fans are kicking on because it's actually warmed up already. It's been warmed up for a minute or so. I do and I don't like that. It puts a little dot in the middle of the print with the filament, but it is what it is. So there's the wipe line. Cleans up any mess you may have had on the hot end, hopefully. As you can see, there was a little glob on it. Now I had offset this at 0.25, and as you just saw, that wipe line came off extremely easy. But let's see if it prints better. I'm going to see if you can focus in on this. Oh yeah, there you kind of can. There you go. So you can see those imperfections where it screwed up the first layer. So it feels smooth. You can't feel them in any way, shape, or form. And if this was black, you wouldn't even see them. But on this fluorescent blue, if this was on here, you'd see that. So I'm actually glad we're redoing it. I would have redone it anyway. But I was just holding that up there. Yeah, it's like a perfect fit. That'll look nice. Now, let's see if this is going to work. still really, it's like the right side is too close. If it does it on this one, we're going to do a bed level. Shouldn't have to, but I did move the bed plate, so it might be my fault. We'll let that first layer print and see what it looks like. So it's doing it now, but I can't see it. That whole hot end is in the way. Now I did lift it up, like I said, 0.25. And I think we're going to have to bed level. Grr. It's in the way. I can't see. One thing someone was saying in the forums, when you can't get the print off, heat the bed up 10 degrees hotter than what you had it, and then cool it off. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're going to have to bed level. Dang it. Oh yeah, that's a mess. Alright, so we're going to stop it. Confirm. What I don't like is it doesn't lift up before it moves over. And then it'll turn all their heat and everything off. I'm actually going to turn the bed back on to temp. Because I was also thinking on my Chiron, I don't know what we're doing here. Well, it's not happening. On my Chiron, when you do the bed level, you want it at temp, the bed at least. There we go. Let's see if I can get this stuff out of here. Oh, that is going to be a problem. Uh-oh. Nope, there it goes. Alright, so we're already at temp. We're going to go back, level. I got it at 0.25. I'm going to put it back to 0.20. Start the auto level. Now it's going to heat the nozzle up to 120. I forgot it does that. It's at 115, 117. The last time it started at 118, 119, 118. It's cooling off for some reason. 116. Hmm. 117. 118. Oh, there it goes. So the dot in the middle, it always does. Number 1 moves on to number 2, 3, And again, no indication that it's done other than all the numbers turned white and it moved to the center. Doesn't say continue, doesn't say press back. It nothing. So I know it's saving to the EEPROM, and if you look at your memory card after you print, you'll see an EEPROM file in there. Do not delete that off your memory card. That's your bed level. Okay, that should be long enough. We're going to click back, back. We're going to tell it to home or not. Just realized there is no actual like home button, is there? Nope. Okay, well, just tell it to print the part. Fan cover. Print, please. Now the hot end's only at 120. It's got to kick up to 207. And I don't know what it's doing. Oh, there it goes. Temp just changed. Okay, now it's doing the program. It's probably still saving to the EEPROM. I figured it would have been done. So now it's just heating up the hot end from the 120 to the 207. The bed's already at temp. We'll just wait for that. Hopefully, it was just my fault. Earlier I lifted the bed up. I loosened it. Maybe I screwed up the bed leveling. Jeez, I was planning on this just being a little quick, here's what I did kind of video. It's turned into a little bit more than that. We got some filament oozing out, which is fine. Just clean it off when it moves over. We're up to 190. Yeah, 190. Just watching the way it reacts with this printer, that filament, I might be able to turn the temp down to 200. Just kind of looking at the one I did earlier, the good section. I don't think I'm going to change it. I like that. That actually printed very, very well. And that's extremely smooth even on the inside. And it was done with the inside fill. It was doing the walls. Whatever was going on with the print. Hopefully I fixed that. At 205. If you don't have tweezers, get tweezers. Pull that little filament that's oozing out. Oh, I missed it. Out of there. Like I said, you're going to end up with a bunch of those. Do the wipe line. Clear any goobers off that nozzle that I may have missed. I did turn this back down to 0.2. Ooh. There wasn't much filament in that wipe line. And I was checking on the dog. I just came back and we're way too close. I think we just scratched the bed. So I killed the power. Turn the power back on. We need to lift that nozzle up. Power outage, I'm not going to. Yeah, that just scratched the bed. There's some filament that came out, but kill the power again. Should have released the motor. It did. Alright, so I cleaned it as much as I could. I don't think that is scratches. I think that is actually filament. Very, very thin filament. So I'm going to print just a flat piece of a square over the top of it. See if we can't clean that up. I also did rebed level at 0.25. I don't know what or why, but we did it before at 0.20. This time that was way, way too damn close. I'm not seeing any filament come out. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was scared there for a minute. Holy crap. That looks so much better. Now I designed this little square in Tinkercad, and damn it, I didn't go big enough. Did I? Yep. Oh, it just clears it. It's supposed to go over the bad area. We'll probably print 2, maybe 3 layers of it. I think I made it 3 millimeters thick. I won't print all of it. But that'll pull up what I stuck to the bed that we have no way to get off there. Plus, we're checking that first layer pouring out. It should be spot on this time. If not, I forgot all about the bed leveling issues I had on my Chiron. It does not have the strain gauge that this has. You had to do the whole paper, and it has the spring bed, and actually saying that, you can see the blue springs in here. So this bed actually flexes, and that's how you level the bed. damn, that's still too close. Alright. Let's go to 0.3. I was at 0.2 for everything else until I rebed leveled it. So I raised it up 0.5 millimeters. Doesn't look any different. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. It does look better. Well, on the far end it does. Close end doesn't. Yeah, I was thinking and I forgot about it. When I bed leveled it the first time, I still had the plastic film on there when I did it at 0.2. So that actually made it a little bit higher. This time I did it directly on the bed. No, still too close. Going to 0.35. Somebody just asked on Facebook, and I was like, 0.2. Half a dozen other people said 0.2. So, oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. I think, honestly, when I first bed leveled it, like I said, I had the protective film still on the bed. And then when I bed leveled it after that, it was directly on the bed. So maybe if you put a sheet of paper in there when you bed level, might help. Oh yeah, you can see the difference in there now. This over here is all nice and rough and crusty, and that's like perfectly smooth. Much, much better. I'm at 0.35. Damn. Now this isn't a print per se. It's just to cover up the filament that's on the bed that I can't get off. So that when I pull this part, it'll take that old filament with it. Yeah, that's printing much, much better. That blue light actually might look good here on this one. Or not. And again, this is just a 100 millimeter square by 300 millimeters thick. It's not really a part per se. Yeah, that 0.3, you can see the difference. Here it's kind of white, rough, scruffy shit, and then perfectly smooth. Much better. Yeah. Hopefully that did not scratch my bed. That will irritate me. Like, damn it. I only had it like 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. Oh yeah, that's just smooth as glass. First layer. So again, I thought this was just going to be a quick little, hey, look what I did. I printed a fan cover. Turned into a bit of an ordeal. That's kind of good, I guess. If anyone else runs into the same issues, they're, you know, kind of like I was. What the hell just happened? Yeah, now that it's been set to 0.35, I want to see what it does on the far end, though, because earlier it was good. I don't know. Who knows? Didn't realize my microphone was off. So, stopped it. I didn't realize it was going to go into infill. Like I said, I made it 3 millimeters thick. I think those bottom layers there will be enough to hopefully pull the little bit of filaments that we couldn't get off. I do see some fading, some white here in the back. I don't think on this particular bed that alcohol is a good idea. A lot of people just say a little bit of soap and water. I might have to agree. Or see some white fading and stuff. But anyway, we'll get it cleaned up. I'm going to let it cool. We'll peel it off and hope. Yeah, see this line that came across? I mean, it's off the bed, but it'd be nice if it lifted and then moved over when you tell it to stop. In this case, it just stopped and then moved over. Ow! Doesn't like filament under the fingernail. Ow, fudge, that hurt. So the purge line, no, there's still a line there. Dang it, I think I may have scratched the bed. Fudge. I think it's still hot. Alright, we'll be back when it's cooled off. I will not pull it, or try to pull it, till you're on. So, all the bed leveling, testing, remodeling, fixing, repairing, where I thought I was earlier. Putting a fan cover. Thought this was going to be just a short little quick video. I thought earlier I was going to be right here. I'm still going to show you all that, of course. But we should be set now. And that looks really good. Oh yeah, smooth as glass. That's like perfect. I just saw there was a little piece stringing trying to get onto it. Get rid of that. Alright, well, we'll just let it go. Fingers crossed. That is just printing great. On to the second level. First layer went down with pretty much no issues. And I lied. We're just about done with the second level. I thought I caught it at the end, but I guess I'm catching it, or caught it at the beginning. I'm catching it at the end. Yeah, I don't see any problems at all with that first layer. It should look really good. Now you can hear me. So that cover fit pretty good. Those little teeth or grooves or whatever they were on the inside, they were for show. It's just on there by friction at the moment. It'll probably need to be like a little dab of hot glue or something. But it works. Now we'll start printing the rest of them.